chief of all the four states, southern region, as regional Grand Master, and he is now elevated to the highest rank of Deputy Grand Master, which comprises the whole India. And the second person, he is a responsible, great person in this great movement. I was very much fascinated with the service and aspect. I'm very much deeply associating with Sushil Raj, because during his tenure as regional Grand Master, is one of the pet project of the Grand Lodge of India when it celebrated its 50th year of its existence in India, was Grama Jyoti, that is electrifying 50 villages in India with solar energy. You know, our district project is also the solar energy, Rotary alternative energy, and I happen to be the chairman of this Rotary alternative energy. So the experience which he had during his tenure as regional Grand Master, elected more than 50 villages in India with solar energy. So we shared that, and his services to community through Freemasonry has made him a recipient of the highest honor in Freemasonry, Order of Service to Masonry, which is being conferred to very, very, very rare persons. So he is a recipient of Order of Service to Masonry, just like our Service Above Self award in Rotary. And one of the person who made the Freemasonry open to other public also, and other informal meetings of this movement. He has made that the family members of Masons, that is members of this movement, also do participate. They know more about what is being done by this great movement. And the erstwhile state of Travancore, that late Maharaja of Travancore, His Holiness Marthandarma has given him, considering his contribution through Freemasonry, as an ornamental sword to him. And such a great person he is. And we are very fortunate. He's a very good speaker. I have attended so many meetings which he had spoken. And one of his assemblies, even our former president Abdul Kalam was also present at the time. You know, our great saint from India, Narendranath Datta, was subsequently, we call him, Swami Vivekananda. He is also a Mason. And this great personality was instrumental in unveiling a portrait of Swami Vivekananda on his 150th birthday at Kanyakumari. He is also, during tsunami period, after tsunami period, the Grand Lodge has constructed nearly 150 houses in Kanyakumari, and also very big 6,000 square feet hall for the community. And he was a person who was instrumental in doing that service to that tsunami affected people at Tamil Nadu area. So his passion for service through Rotary and also through Freemasonry is great and synonymous, and we are fortunate to have such a great person here, and I'm happy to introduce this great personality, Ratnaraj Sushil Raj, to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Srikumar. To initiate the session, let me welcome Rotarian K.P. Ramachandran Nair, past district governor.
Good morning to all. The guest speaker of this session, my dear good friend Sushil Raj, Chairman Krishna Kumar, Governor Shashi Kumar, and my dear brothers and sisters in the Rotary fraternity. When I stand on this dais, my memories goes back to 12 years. That is the district conference organized by our erstwhile district 3210 during my tenure as the governor in 2002-2003. I really know the effort taken by the organizers of this conference, and my heartfelt appreciations and congratulations to the organizers, especially the architect of this, chief architect, Governor Shashi Kumar, conference chairman Krishna Kumar, and all the other committed Rotarians who made a real effort for making this seminar a highly successful one. Dear Shashi, Krishna Kumar, and all other officers of this conference, my congratulations to you. Please put your hands together to appreciate them. My dear friends, as a token of my the subject, opening the remark, subject here, the happiness. Happiness is really a great subject. It's really a great subjective subject. When we talk about happiness, we talk about well-being and prosperity. We know that the prosperity of a country or a prosperity of a society the well-being of a society is measured by usually so many indicators. One of the two main important fiscal indicators are GDP and GNP. GDP means gross national product and GNP is gross national product and GDP is gross domestic product. And there is one more indicator called NNP, net national product. These are the fiscal indicators for arriving the prosperity of a nation, for measuring the prosperity of a nation, the well-being of a nation. But at the same time, my dear friends, is there any indicators to measure the happiness of a country, the happiness of the citizens in the country? But I really came to know that there is one indicator called GNH, gross national happiness, which indicates the gross national happiness in a country, total happiness generated in a country. GDP means the total domestic production and the service rendered in a country in 1 year, the value of the production and these services. At the same time, how we will measure the happiness generated in a country, or if you can calculate the gross national happiness in a country, then we can calculate the per capita happiness also of a citizen in a country. It's a very difficult subject. And at the same time, my dear friends, this happiness is a social indicator. Like Swamini told here, it is the real spiritual subject. This happiness is a spiritual subject. Happiness differs from person to person, but at the same time, we know that there are lakhs and lakhs of people in our country and crores of people in this world, in the universe, who are deprived of basic needs. Unless a person gets their basic needs done, how can they have the real happiness in their life? My dear friends, when come to Rotary, Be Happiness and Rotary is very much affiliated. Do you know the quantum of happiness given by the Rotarians in this world? The 12.5 lakhs Rotarians, or the 33,000 Rotary clubs all over the world, in this world given to this community? I believe that if happiness can be taken as a solid matter, the total quantum of happiness generated by all the Rotarians in this world for the last 110 years is equal to the total mass of the solid mass in the entire mountains in this world. And if you can take happiness as a liquid, in the liquid form, I believe that the total happiness given by the Rotarians in this world for the last 110 years, I think it is equal to the total volume of water in all the sea in this world. So I believe that as Rotarians, we are giving happiness to the people in this world. We are radiating happiness. And happiness is one thing that when we give happiness, we also enjoy happiness. That's why giving happiness and being happy, I think it's a great subject. I am very sure that Sushil Raj, one of a very good speaker on this topic, and he will deliver it on this topic, and he will enlighten with his great speech. And once again, I profusely thank the organizers for giving me a session along with Sushil Raj and appreciating the conference organizers for a wonderful conference. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotary and Past District Governor K.P. Ramachandran Nair. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a round of applause Mr. Sushil Raj, Deputy Grand Master, Grand Lodge of India, for his address.
A very good morning to you all. Yeah. Hope there's not much people, or there's one Rotarian at least who's unhappy. Nobody's unhappy in this hall. I hope everybody's happy. There's a theme today morning, and I'm sure it'll be very easy to communicate to happy people than to have a few unhappy around. First of all, I thank Rotarian Sri Kumar for the nice words of introduction, and very especially the conference organizers for giving me this morning here. Conference Chairman Krishna Kumar, the District Governor Shashi, the RI representative, our brother past Governor Anyak, my college mate, I can see, I feel very relaxed. I've gone back about 30 years. Your past Governor Raghu, who's sitting in front of me. Other past governors, the governors of my district here, JK and DGN Vijay Kumar, Rotarians, Rotarians, Annets, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must thank the conference chairman and the organizers for giving me this slot in the morning, because as you know, it's Valentine's Day and I have to reach home at least before dusk. My wife will be anxiously waiting. The reason for waiting may be not that I'll bring a rose or a packet of sweets or gifts, Because today is a dangerous day to be caught out from home, speaking to someone, because you can get forced to get married to that person. That's the threat going around, so be careful when you walk around on a Valentine's Day. In fact, it's very amusing to hear an anecdote which I heard about Valentine's Day. Like I said, many things originated from this country, as you heard the previous speaker says. We never went out for the gurus. All universal ideas originated from India. There is a story going around saying that Valentine's Day itself originated from this country. In fact, in a village in the northern west part of India, about few centuries ago, as usual, our country was a male-dominated society, at least till a few decades ago. The women of the village were very badly treated, abused, ill-treated by the men folk day and day out. So one day the women organized themselves. As morning, when the men come down for breakfast, the women are busy using the rolling pins to make chapatis. The rolling pin used to be called velen. So one day the ladies all organized and decided we should put an end to this ill treatment, the abuse which we have been suffering from ages. It is said on the 14th of February morning, when the men came down and started their usual abuse, the women who were rolling the chapatis used the rolling pin on the men. Instead of flattening the chapatis, they flattened the men. And within a few minutes, the whole lot of men from the household ran out of their home and assembled in the town square. It was a total surprise for them. Why this uprising? Now they anyway had to go back home in the evening. So they decided to buy some flowers or some sweets, and they walked back home, and the wives were quite pleasantly there to receive them, and of course they were also happy with the flowers and the sweets. So it is said that every year on the 14th of February, it was Valentine's Day. So that's how it originated. That's why maybe when the Westerners came here, they must have got a hint of this, and it has still come back in a different way. My friends, this, at least if it's make you happy, this is what at least happens. Thinking of being happy and communicating happiness is my morning's topic. I come from an organization which basically believes in this great ideology of being happy and communicating happiness. Now, what is happiness? Happiness, can we define happiness? Because it's something very difficult to be defined. What is happiness for you will not be happiness to you, the next person sitting there. What was happiness for you as a kid would not be a happiness when you were an adult. What was happiness yesterday would not be happiness today, and what is happiness today would not be happiness tomorrow. So this is the great topic, a very, very difficult challenge we face in life, because what is happiness is never defined. It is only the modern science or the science has defined happiness as a positive range of emotions that we feel when we are content and full of joy. When are we content and when are we full of joy? That's the greatest question, because think about yourself. The minute you wake up every morning till you go back to bed, what is the sole purpose of living? You make a living, you live for your family, you work for your family, maybe you do your job, you earn, you buy, you do a lot of things, ultimately for one very, very selfish purpose: your happiness. It is for your happiness you do anything in this life. If anything you have to do which doesn't make you happy, you are miserable. Even when you bring up your children, you want him to be this, you want them to be that. If they don't listen to you, you are unhappy. You never think what makes them happy, even if it brings unhappiness to you. Because that is the way we have been brought up in this world. And that's how the society has evolved. Because everything we take, everything is for us. Even we assemble, we do serve. In fact, when we give, we want to get more. That's why we give. It gives you happiness, getting, because this society. Mullah Nasruddin was once sitting in his house outside, watching the people passing by on the road. and it is an interesting thing in yesterday years when there was no TV, just to watch people on the road. There were a lot of people who used to do that every evening, watching people walking back from work or wherever they go. So he saw a man, a tramp, limp, dragging his foot along, walking down the road. He was clinging a bag, one of the most dirtiest possible to him, down with a sneer in his face, dragging along. Mullah couldn't bear it, so he walked up to him and asked him, "Hello, sir, what's wrong with you? Where are you going?" He said, "Nowhere. I'm just going down." "What is that in your bag?" "This bag, this miserable bag. It contains all that is left for me in this miserable world," he said. Mullah he couldn't really digest this. He couldn't believe a man was so miserable in this world. So what he did was, he pulled the bag and ran down the road. Now this man couldn't follow. The minute the bag was lost, this man became very troubled. He looked around for help. There was no one. He couldn't run after Mullah too. So the Mullah ran around a curve, a corner, down the bend. He left the bag in the middle of the road and he hid somewhere and was watching this man slowly coming down. From distance, the man saw the bag. Then he increased his speed. He jumped, and then as soon as he retrieved the bag, that was enough for Mullah. The happiness in his face that he got back what he had lost. Though he felt a few moments ago that was the most miserable thing, or it contained all the whatever unneeded things he had in this world, it was a precious thing. That's how is happiness. We never realize when we have it. I don't know how many of you all are members of the Rotary Club, but how many of you heard of the 99 Club? Have any of you heard of the 99 Club? Because it makes my job easy. Okay. 99 Club is a very interesting club. There was this king who used to stand in his balcony, watch his gardener watering the plants. The gardener would be singing happily and doing his job. The king was always miserable. He never could sleep peacefully. His kingdom had problems. Every subject had problems. He was always unhappy. So one day he went down to the gardener and asked him, "Hey, how come you're so happy all the time?" He said, "Sir, I'm very happy. At least you came and talked to me today, but I don't need anything in your kingdom. I work every day. I've been paid well. I have a roof to live in. I have food to eat. My family is looked after. I'm quite happy." The answer didn't satisfy the king. So he called his minister and checked with him, "What is this? How come he is happy and I am not happy?" Then the minister said, "Sir, he is not the member of the 99 Club. The minute he becomes a member of the 99 Club, you'll know what will happen." So the king asked, "What is the 99 Club?" He said, "You give me time, I'll show it to you. Give me a bag of gold coins, of 100 gold coins," he said. So the king gave him a bag of 100 gold coins. This minister took one coin out of the bag, tied the bag, and had his servants put it at the doorstep of this gardener. Morning, as the gardener opened the door, he saw the bag. He opened it. Unbelievable. If he had worked for 10 years, he couldn't make one gold coin. He saw a bag of gold coins. So, filled with joy, he jumped in, closed the door, silently called his family, and he counted it. Counted. 99. How come 99? It can't be 99. It has to be 100. So they counted again. It was just 99. Now, there was something wrong. It had to be 100. That day onwards, this gardener started working to make the 100th gold coin. He stopped singing. He sent his wife to work. He was miserable at home. He could never be at peace. The king from that day saw that the gardener was different. And that's how the minister came and told him, "Sir, this is the 90. He has joined the 99 Club. He'll never sing anymore." We are all like this, my friends. We will think, that extra one in our life, I'm going to be very happy. Then I don't need anything. But when are we going to be happy? As I said, we are in a society which has evolved into only taking. You heard of my previous speaker say, only we like to take. But that is nothing wrong in it, because we are that way. The people climb mountains, go to pilgrimages and all that. They keep giving for what? To get more. They don't give all that we have, then you become a sannyasi. We give a portion expecting to get more. Mullah was once walking down the road, Mullah Nasruddin again. He saw a crowd. He tried to push himself in. There, on the nearby, in a small pond, there was a man who couldn't swim, who had fallen, and he was trying to get out of it. He was sinking. People were giving the hand and was shouting, "Give me your hand, give me your hand," but this man would never give. They went around trying to save this man. But this man would never give his hand. He was only trying to keep himself afloat and come out of the pond. But Mullah pushed away and said, "Give way. I'll get him out." He said, giving his hand, he said, "Take my hand, take my hand." The minute he said, "Take my hand," that man gave his hand, he pulled him out. And then they wondered, what is this? I've been trying so many times, but this man never gave his hand. He said, "I know this man for so many years. He's a miser. He never gives, he only takes." My friends, this is the system in which we are evolving in or evolved in, and that's how we work. According to Padma Bhushan, Dr. B.M. Hebde, I think most of you have heard of him, the famous Vice Chancellor of Manipal. This body, human body, is made up of 50 trillion cells. It is, as in the mother's womb, it becomes one cell, it multiplies. How do we stay together? Because of the affinity of one cell with another, the love of cells together. The cells are programmed only to love, never to hate. So the minute in this world, if you start hating someone, your body doesn't understand this conditioning, this programming, like we say now. How can you hate someone? Because then what happens? Your cells start aberrating. They malfunction. And then you get all that diseases what you have in this world. So the only way to save yourself in this world is to be happy. To be happy and communicating happiness would be the only way to save yourself, not to save mankind, my friends. We think by doing service to others, you are helping someone to come out of his problem. Maybe that is only temporarily and momentary, like you said, we always know. To be of doing good to others is the only way of saving yourself to a better existence in this world.